"If you don't follow my instructions, we're done," Jason declared as he thrust the divorce papers into my hands. I'd always known this moment would arrive eventually. "Fine, let's end it," I responded, my voice steady as I began filling out the forms right there in front of him. "All right then, I'll make this difficult for you," he said, visibly shocked despite being the one to hand me the papers. He seemed thrown off balance. "You don't get it, do you? Without me you'll have no one," he sneered. Yeah, all alone. Can you wrap this up?" "I'm busy packing," I shot back. "Packing? What are you going on about? Moving out? What's happening?" he stammered. "It's straightforward. I'm leaving you and starting fresh. This is the ideal time to call it quits," I explained. "My name's Sarah. I tied the knot with Jason a few years back. We don't have children and we both have jobs. My parents passed away in a tragic accident during my first year of work, leaving me to fend for myself ever since. When Jason and I married, I was genuinely thankful. I thought we'd build a joyful family together. I longed for kids and pictured a hopeful future. But reality took a sharp turn after the wedding. Jason gradually grew distant and harsh. "Sarah, without me you'd be utterly alone again," he'd throw at me during every minor disagreement. He loved weaponizing my solitude and it always sparked arguments. He nitpicked everything I did. "Stir-fried veggies for dinner? This feels like something for old folks," he'd grumble. "I called you earlier to ask what you wanted and you said whatever," I'd remind him. "Sure, but a decent wife would figure out what her husband craves and whip up something better, like pizza. I was in the mood for that today." "Then you should have said so. You'd complain no matter what I cooked," I'd retort. "What was that?" he'd snap. "I work just as hard as you and I'm the only one managing the house. Don't act like that's nothing. You told me before we married that you loved housework." "I do, but when you're always tearing me down, I lose the will to bother." "Oh, I get it," he'd say smugly. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing, just that you're getting a bit too outspoken." "Outspoken? If you keep talking to me like that, I lose respect for you. And I don't like how you treat me either. You're always fishing for a fight. I'm done dealing with a husband like that." And there it was. I could see what was coming. He'd bring up my lack of family to shrink me down, one of his go-to tactics to belittle me. "Maybe kids would fix your loneliness. It's about time we started a family anyway," Jason would often say after a spat. Early in our marriage, I'd been eager for a baby, but the warm, caring man I'd wed vanished so fast. Now he was just a guy who griped about everything. I began questioning if I even wanted kids with him. Yes, he was my only family, but I'd managed alone just fine before him. I'd saved enough to stand on my own if I walked away. Sometimes I'd rather be by myself than with someone who constantly undermined and threatened me. If we had a child, I'd be trapped in this toxic mess and they'd grow up watching it unfold. That realization cemented it. I couldn't keep going with Jason. But he didn't see it that way. "You said you wanted kids right after the wedding. Why the hesitation now? Are you deceiving me? Isn't that dishonest?" he accused. "If that's how you see it, maybe try making me feel secure enough to want a family with you. Do you think I'd want kids when you're always picking apart my cooking, my cleaning, how I fold laundry?" "I'm not picking, I'm just being real about how I feel. That's the issue. You twist everything and now you're blaming it on me losing my parents young, aren't you?" Jason smirked, clearly taunting me. "I'm not mocking you," he claimed, but his smug expression told a different story. Then there was my mother-in-law. Every visit she'd ask, "Any grandkids yet?" Jason would chime in, "Yeah, tell her she's not doing her part, Sarah. What's the holdup?" My mother-in-law would press, "What's going on?" But I never had the guts to speak up. "Guess you two need to sort it out," she'd say. I tried talking to her, but "this woman," Jason would start. "Don't call her this woman, just work it out," she'd cut in. She wasn't a bad person. Widowed and living alone, she genuinely wanted grandkids. Her persistent questions just made it tougher for me to open up about Jason, so I kept quiet. One day my mother-in-law had an accident. Jason called me and I left work early to rush to the hospital, arriving before he did. I'm so sorry for the trouble, she said. Are you okay, Mother? I asked, anxious. I'm fine, just a broken leg, she assured me. Oh no, I gasped, tears welling up. You don't need to cry like that, she said, trying to soothe me, but I couldn't stop. I'm sorry, I was terrified I'd lose you too, like my parents. I was so scared driving here, I confessed, eyes wet. I'm sorry for worrying you and stirring up those painful memories, she replied gently. It was the first time we'd ever spoken so candidly. You should head home now, she suggested later. I'll wait for Jason, I'll leave with him, I said. She sighed. He's not coming. You might as well go. That's not true, I insisted, clinging to hope. I'm his mother, I know. It's sad, isn't it? He was right. Jason never showed, even after visiting hours. When I got home, he was sprawled on the couch watching TV. What are you doing? I asked, exasperated. What do you mean? He replied nonchalantly. You called about your mom's accident. Why didn't you go? I figured you'd handle it. One person's enough. She's fine, not a big deal. She's your only mother. I snapped. Stop nagging and make me some food, I'm starving. You didn't eat? Why would I spend money when you're here to cook? I'm not cooking. I'm going to bed, I said firmly. Don't talk to me like that. I'll divorce you if you piss me off, he yelled. Then do it, I said, walking off. I was hungry but hid in the bathroom to avoid cooking for him. The next morning Jason was gone. From then on he didn't come home. I figured he'd gone to his mom's place, but I didn't pursue him. After work, I visited my mother-in-law in the hospital, avoiding any mention of Jason to spare her worry. I went every day she was there. Thank you, Sarah, she said one day. I know you and Jason are struggling, but I'm grateful you're here for me despite that. I'm sorry, I murmured. No need to apologize, I can guess what's going on. Jason must have done something. I didn't know what to say, so I stayed quiet. A woman's gut is usually spot on, she added. He's why you've held off on kids, right? It's okay. I've been pushing you about grandkids. I'm sorry for adding to your load. I'm sorry I couldn't live up to your hopes, I said softly. As we spoke, the doctor came in. Her recovery would take longer and she'd need help with her leg. I offered to step in and even arranged to work from home temporarily. She resisted at first but eventually agreed. On discharge day, I picked her up and took her home, assuming Jason was at work. The idea of seeing him later unnerved me. Actually, Jason and I fought, I admitted. He left the house, so today'll be the first time I've seen him in a while. Her face grew stern. I see. I'm sorry to hear that. Why are you apologizing? Because he's my son. It must be awkward for you to hear me criticize him. Not at all, I said. Well, he's the kind of son who doesn't visit me even when I'm hospitalized. He didn't come see you at all? Not once, she said calmly. I was appalled. She'd been in the hospital 2 weeks and he hadn't shown up once. He's not that sweet boy anymore, is he? She said with a faint, sad smile. She took a deep breath. Sarah, listen, Jason doesn't have a key to this house. He's not here now and that's fine. Let's focus on us first. A week later, I was back at the house I shared with Jason, packing my stuff. As I finished, the front door swung open. Oh, perfect timing, I wanted to talk, I said. I'm busy. How's Mom? He asked. Why don't you visit her and see for yourself? I snapped. Why should I? You're handling it, right? That's your job. If you don't do what I say, we're getting divorced, he said, handing me papers. Fine, let's divorce, I replied, calmly filling them out in front of him. Okay, but I'll fight it, he said, looking oddly stunned. You don't get it, do you? Without me you'll be alone, he sneered. Yeah, alone. Done yet? I'm packing to move out. Where are you going? It's obvious, I'm leaving you. Perfect time for it. Who'll look after Mom then? He demanded. Don't worry, I will, I said. Jason laughed bitterly. You're a fool. Think caring for her will get you her inheritance? I'm her only son, I'll get it all. You're not my son anymore, a voice said behind us. We turned. His mother stood there on crutches. Mother, why are you here? Jason faltered. I needed help, so Sarah brought me to move out. He's been there for me, unlike you. My only child is Sarah now. I don't need a son who only wants my money. You won't get a dime. Jason's face flushed with rage. I'm divorcing her, she won't get anything either. I'm adopting someone, she said firmly. What? I'm cutting you from my will. You won't see a cent. His voice rose. You knew I wanted kids to lock in my inheritance. She stared at him icily. And that's why you're losing it all. I told you we needed kids, now you're useless. You're the biggest fool here. If you have a kid, I'll make sure they're out of the inheritance too, he shouted, lunging at her. I stepped in, shoving him back, then took her hand and let her out. Hey, are you his wife? A woman asked outside. Oh, so you're the one he's cheating with, I said. What? Well, yes, for now. Did you sign the papers? Please leave soon. I see, I replied. Jason had brought his girlfriend here. I was stunned but not upset. In fact, I was thrilled about alimony prospects. Jason ran after us but froze seeing me with her. So you've been cheating, huh? Thanks, I'll claim my alimony now, I said. Speechless, he watched as my mother-in-law and I drove off. We filed the divorce papers at the city office and I demanded alimony from both. They made excuses, but her social media posts exposed their affair. They paid up hefty sums. Turns out she was after the inheritance too. When she realized Jason was cut off, she bolted. They were both gold diggers. Jason begged at my mother-in-law's house to reconcile, but she refused him. I blocked him. He tried unknown numbers, but I ignored them. Now her leg's healed and she's thriving. I'm so thankful for her, especially for pushing me to leave Jason. Years later, I still live with her. I'm not alone anymore. Family isn't just blood, it's love and care. I'll keep living with my mother-in-law. Taking a wife's kindness for granted and treating her badly is unforgivable. Jason's selfish reasons for wanting kids were wrong. He'll never find joy like that. I hope Sarah and her mother-in-law live happily ever after. Thanks for reading. Subscribe if you liked it. See you next time.